This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
I want to make it clear that the views expressed by our hosts are not considered the official stance of MBR Views. Remember, this is all about having fun and enjoying the ride.
The fact that our patriotism in America is dwindling, I really wanted to start the American AF movement. Freedom is fragile, very fragile. It takes a certain level of intestinal fortitude to stand up and say and do the right thing to preserve the freedoms that so many have paid a large price for. About being in the military, and that recruiter said, it's not Biden's army, it's your army, it's his army, it's his army, it's all of our army.
American tactical. American as f***.
Hello friends, I'm Kent Skelton and I'm so glad you are here. Together, we can battle this struggle and find freedom from it all. Life is continuous, and it would be ridiculous to say that you or I don't experience those seconds, minutes, hours, or days that seem like they'll never end. Time continues, regardless of how we feel or what we experience. We search longingly for a way to handle and navigate through these situations we are experiencing. There has to be a way. Indeed, I can find the solution to eliminate these negative experiences and periods of despair I am feeling. Maybe it's not our problems but those of family members or loved ones living in pain. These pains may come from alcoholism, addictions, illness, grief, boredom, and so many other forms. What will we do? Where is that light I'm supposed to be able to see at the end of the tunnel? When will I see it? When will this end? The timing to realize you need help is up to each of us. That's you, that's me. We are each individually accountable for ourselves. We have to make the change, and the timing is now. There's no time like the present to desire and begin that road to recovery. Together, let's reach that freedom from struggle.
Hello, everyone. We welcome you today to the Freedom from Struggle. We're sitting around Red's Round Table, and as you know, this Red's Round Table, it is a 12-step program, if you will, to recovery, and that's recovery from any type of hurt, habit, or hang-up, and whether it's an addiction, alcoholism, it could be anything with domestic abuse, child abuse, you name it. It's for anyone. I like to say it's really for sinners. It's for all of us that aren't perfect. You know, a lot of us aren't perfect, and we realize that, and we just hope that folks will just see that they're not alone. See hope at the end of the tunnel, and just know that there are people out there that care. None of us that you'll see on here today, or most likely any podcast for Freedom from Struggle, is a physician or someone that is going to heal you. Okay, the only way you can do it is to realize that that you got problems, and get out of denial. Understand that you got to turn it over to someone else. You can't do it alone, and then start that recovery. Let that last drink be your last drink. That last puff be your last puff, and that's how you get in recovery. It can be because you use profanity. Well, that last bad curse word you said, let it be your last one. Don't say another. And it's only we as ourselves can actually act that, but we have to have somebody behind us. And I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ, and I give all my glory to God. I've got 30 years sobriety from alcoholism, and started while I was in the military. One of these podcasts, I'll be sharing that story more in all the way. I mean, the whole story, the whole testimony. I'll be sharing that. I've got so many different ones in my life, and I'm sure a lot of you out there also have the exact same thing. Look, we're glad you're here. We're part of Military Broadcast Radio, giving veterans a voice. And I don't want to leave my guest out today. We got Charmaine with us, and we have John. Charmaine, just let me know real quick, who are you? Who is Charmaine?
Well, first of all, thank you, Rev, for allowing me to be on this podcast. I am definitely excited about being on this podcast. And yeah, so I'm Charmaine. I am a veteran myself, Navy, and I was in for about 5 years, and I've been out for about a year now. And living here in Jacksonville, Florida, just enjoying my time out. So,
Charmaine, we're glad you're here, and we're going to be learning a little bit more about Charmaine. She's here with the Military Broadcast Radio, also helping other veterans give a voice and giving a voice herself. John, welcome to Freedom from Struggle. I'm so happy I met you here recently, and we're just anxious to hear your story.
Well, I'm excited to be here. And first of all, I want to say it is so good to be able to talk to a fellow Mississippian. Hey, listen, we don't sound funny. It's everybody else that sounds funny, right?
That's right. That can't help it.
Well, yeah, I'm excited to be here. Yeah, served in the Army, National Guard, served in Iraq, came back home, went through flight school, became a helicopter pilot, and became an alcoholic. So we're going to get into a little bit of that today.
All right. Well, John, man, we appreciate you introducing yourself. We do happen to both be from Mississippi, and we got Charmaine. She's out there representing, I guess, Jacksonville, Florida today.
Florida.
At least that's where she's from. And John, me and him, we all got things in common. I believe he's also in Florida and on the East Coast time today.
Absolutely.
Go Gators or Seminoles or whatever, and all I can say over here in Mississippi is Hail State. But I'm on the Mississippi.
You already messed up because I'm an Ole Miss Rebels fan all the way.
Howdy. Okay. Well, bless your heart. All right, John. John, you've already told us a little bit what branch you're from. Hey, and Charmaine also with the Navy. I'm from the Air Force. I was in the Chair Force. I'm still sitting here in my chair right now in front of a camera. After the South, got the mouth running. I never could shut up, but I did air traffic control for a lot of years. And man, I wanted to be an air traffic controller. I was going to do my 4 or 5 years, get out and go FBA. But boy, I stayed in the Air Force. They were waving that little carrot in front of me, and I took to it. Timing's everything. But I feel blessed that I was with the Air Force. I received great care thus far from the VA. So I'm blessed to have all of that, despite my little hurts, habits, and hang-ups, whether it be mental or physical. I still feel blessed, okay, and just love life and love to be able to be on here and have like it's a ministry and a sword with helping others and sharing how we recover. John, why'd you join the military?
Okay. So we're going to take it back a little bit. I grew up in Cleveland, Mississippi, and back around 1994, 95, we had a really bad ice storm come through, and all the power lines went down, trees were falling. It was just a really, really bad time. And they activated the National Guard. And at the time, I believe I was in 5th or 6th grade. And I just thought that was so cool. That was really my first interaction with any type of military personnel, and just seeing them help people. And I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And as soon as I turned 18, I joined the National Guard, went through basic training and AIT, and shortly after that, I went to Iraq. So, but yeah, I was really just excited to be able to help people.
Right. Well, man, I appreciate your service. I know Charmaine does. We appreciate each other. We're brothers and sisters in arms, and even more so than that, as folks might learn a little later. John, you mentioned that you joined up there in Cleveland, Mississippi, and what'd you do after you got out of the military? You said you were in the helicopter pilot and stuff, and what kind of?
Yeah. So I was right. So I went in as a 13 Fox forward observer. Went to Iraq, came back, reclassed to a 15 Tango Black Hawk crew chief. First of the 185th Aviation, and did that for a couple of years and fell in love with aviation. Put in my packet to become a warrant officer. It was accepted, but then later on I was informed that it would require another 6-year commitment. And after Iraq and all that, I was, I was done. It's time for me to kind of move forward. But I went through flight school civilian and became a commercial helicopter pilot. Actually, I'm dual rated. I can fly both fixed wing and helicopters, but did that, started flying people back and forth offshore to the offshore oil rigs for a little bit. Started drinking. Okay. Moved on from that and, took a contract job, here and there, but my drinking just got really, really bad. And it's kind of difficult to be a pilot and be an alcoholic at the same time, right? So I kind of, I moved forward into something else. Took a couple of months to figure some stuff out, and all of a sudden one of my friends called me. He was running for an office here in Florida, state representatives, and he invited me to help him with his campaign. I had no clue about politics or any type of formal education on it, but he needed some help, so I agreed. We did the best we could. Unfortunately, he did lose, but I definitely found that I had some unique gifts in that area. And shortly after that, I started getting phone calls from different people wanting me to assist with their campaign, and ultimately opened a political action committee. And I took off. I mean, I went from zero to, hero really quick. And I was able to work on, several different campaigns and made some pretty good money. And you'd think that would be good, right? But not so much for an alcoholic, because now, my career was enabling my alcoholism. I could be drunk and sleep till 11 o'clock every day and, do whatever as a consultant. So, that's when my alcoholism really, really progressed.
All right, John, man, I appreciate that. And appreciate you sharing it. I'm sorry that you were going through that type of stuff, but hey, we're going to have to go take a little station break here in just a moment. But I just want to remind everybody, we are listening to Military Broadcast Radio, and we're on numerous platforms across social media outlets and on radio. And we're just super happy you're here. I want you to stay tuned, because we're going to go more in depth with John's program. We'll go more into what he's encountered, if you will. Okay. Got a little fast. My thoughts were here and there. You know how the mouth is. I almost felt like, no, I did not feel like that. But anyway, we're going to take a little break. It's probably going to be about 3 or 4 minutes. A great song here. Y'all stand by and wait back. Y'all going to come back and hear some more from John and Charmaine, okay? Thank you for being here with us.
It's a 5 a.m. hike up the mountain to watch the sunrise. It's saluting the flag in honor of the brave men who died. It's a small piece of land that reaps what you sow, your child's first breath, and then watching them grow. Respecting one another, though you may disagree. You don't hold it against them, that's freedom to me. Some pray to God, some go their own way. We're all raised different, but we're all the same. And it doesn't matter If you disagree, what's freedom to you? That's freedom to me. It's riding a trusty old horse down a dusty dirt road, casting your fly line in a stream that nobody knows. It's spending your life with the girl of your dreams and being a grandpa like mine was to me, and building a business without a degree. 'Cause you worked your ass off, that's freedom to me. Some were raised hunting, some think that's a shame. We're all taught different, but we're all the same. And it doesn't matter if you disagree. What's freedom to you? That's freedom to me. There's 50 to choose from, pick one and be free. I don't tell you how to live, so don't do that to me. Some were raised hunting, some think that's a shame. And we're all taught different, but we're all the same. And it doesn't matter if you disagree. What's freedom to you? That's freedom to me. Some pray to God, some go their own way. But we're all raised different, but we're all the same. And it doesn't matter if you disagree. What's freedom to you? That's freedom to me. What's freedom to you? That's freedom to me.
All right, everyone, we're back. Freedom to me. Hey, we got July 4th coming up. You know, I hope everybody's ready to wear that red, white, and blue. I got my red on. I'm red, and this is my red hat. This is my red shirt, my black vest. I'm here. I'm going to turn the vest into blue and the hat into white on Thursday, I guess. Watch some fireworks. But look, we're glad you're here with us. John, we learned that he is in the Army, and he messed around with the Black Hawk helicopters and became a pilot and all this, got his pilot's license and all that. And I'm sure he'll just be reinsured to know that I was air traffic controller. Tell the pilot where to go.
Absolutely, man. We definitely appreciate you guys.
I'm sorry, John. But hey, we always said it's one of the best jobs in the Air Force.
Hey,
you know,
I'll tell you a memory. You know how sometimes our communications fail, and I guess you know how you guys have the lights in there, right?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Yeah, absolutely. So so he's flashing red light to me. I'm a brand new pilot. I probably don't even have 120 hours. And I was like, well, does red mean stop or land? I don't know. But yeah, definitely some interesting experiences.
Yeah, it's about time for you to give way or something like that, wasn't it? You need to go somewhere else. Hey, John, you started talking to us about how your life started spiraling out of control with alcoholism. Despite that, you were being still pretty. You were making moves, with your career in the politics and stuff like that. Come on and share some other stuff with us, and then we'll finally wind down with where you at now. What you do, not necessarily the exact location, nothing like that, unless you want to share it.
Yeah, absolutely. Open book.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, struggling with alcoholism, and unfortunately, I got into a toxic relationship. She had her issues. I certainly had mine. Apparently, the only thing that we had in common was drinking, and so that's pretty much what we did. We did have a beautiful family, and we do have two beautiful daughters together. And it was nice. But unfortunately, between her issues and my issues, after about 6 years, we ended up just hitting a brick wall. And unfortunately, it just got out of hand. And had neither one of us been drinking, none of it ever would have happened. Had I not been drinking, I could have thought of 1,000 different scenarios. But we ended up getting into a pretty serious argument, which led to a physical altercation. And I ended up being arrested for domestic violence. And I ended up going to prison for well over a decade.
Wow.
I lost a lot of friends over that, right? But in hindsight, I'm definitely a stronger person today than the John then, because the John then was arrogant and obnoxious and rude and didn't care about anybody. And I was just all about making some money. But the person who I am today, I had to pay a high consequence to be this person. Okay. I paid my dues on that, but God certainly humbled me. We were discussing earlier how we all have different choices, and we do. We can all make different choices, and I can assure you that there are most certainly consequences to those choices. And I shared with you earlier, just the other day, it was Wednesday, a fellow veteran here at the VA, he's doing some rehab. Purple dude, great guy. To give you a visual, he kind of looks like Ashton Kutcher. 34 years old, served in the Army, served in Iraq. I would call him a friend. 7:30 Wednesday night, we're hanging out. We wrestled over the last banana nut bread muffin, and we laughed about it. And later that night, he chose to leave the VA. And morning.
Yes, I know that. That's one of our brothers. I lost. Go ahead.
And next morning,
Charmaine, can you hear me?
I think you might have frozen up a little bit.
Hey, John, I believe you can hear me, John. I believe we
I got
lost
you.
We lost your voice.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
All right, good deal. But yeah, he ended up overdosing, and they found his body this morning. And it's pretty devastating, because I knew addiction, and one of the things he said to me, his two favorite loves was Jesus and drugs, and he just said, he was struggling, he had internally, and he man, just such a good guy. But it affects us all, man. Listen, I don't care if you're the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I don't care if you're living on the streets. Nobody is immune to addiction. Nobody. A lot of people think that they can avoid it, they can play around with it. But I assure you, eventually, the right situation, the right tragedy is going to happen. And we can all fall victim to it, each and every single one of us. And there are consequences. And, for me, I did well over a decade in prison. it's just tragic. It is. And I saw so many red flags, so many red flags. So much of this could have been avoided, but I failed to get help. And it's not going to get better. You're not just going to magically wake up and be okay. You need counseling. You've got to get help. If you don't, I mean, so many things, just families ruined, lives lost, incarceration, just so many different things. And just looking back, if we would have got help, that could have saved, my family. But I just refused to get help. I didn't see it. I just didn't see it. And other people knew that I was struggling with alcoholism and didn't say anything. You got me there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you loud and clear. Nobody intervened really. If you know someone who is struggling with alcoholism or addiction, man, don't wait. Don't wait until something happens. Help them, encourage them, do something, anything. Because if you wait, what are you waiting for? For something to happen? Prevention, is really, it's like, how can you help somebody? Is it your business? Is it something that you should, butt into? But I think yes, absolutely. Because you could be saving a life. You could be saving a family. Right. Hey, John, I appreciate that. And that's so true. I know if you wait too late, it's too late. And it might take somebody, he might have to be told, or she might have to be told 10 times before she realizes, you know what, maybe I do really have a problem, and actually will seek help. And I know we were taught a lot of that stuff in the military, with the buddy. We're all in this together. Okay. Whether it's the military, whether it's, Christianity or whatever religion you might practice, it's, we're in this together. You're in it together, and you got other folks. And hey, look, I'm older now. Okay. Got them. I've served almost, 5 decades for sure, and 4 decades kind of as a somewhat mature adult, if you will. But I'm here, and struggle every day with something. The struggles in some ways are a lot easier than they were before because alcohol's not involved with it. Profanity might not be involved with it, or smoking no longer involved with it, but can still suffer the consequences. I think we just lost John, and but Charmaine, I'm sure you can agree with me on that. It is
absolutely.
It is 3:27. Man, I hate to hear that about our brother.
That breaks
losing
my
out.
heart.
That is so sad, but it can happen so fast. And obviously, he was getting help, and sometimes I know I guess it's too much to bear. But I want to share real quick. Like I said, the Celebrate Recovery, we are going to have to go on break in just a second. But with Celebrate Recovery, I talked about it being a 12-step program, and it is a 12-step program. Okay. And to begin with, the very beginning, we admit we're powerless over our addictions or our compulsive behaviors, that our lives have become unmanageable. And that's biblical. Romans 7:18 and the NIV says, I know that nothing good lives in me, that is, in my sinful nature. For I have the desire to do what's good, but I cannot carry it out. And that just goes right farther into the next step, Charmaine, where we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Okay. Philippians 2:13 says, for it is God who works in you to will and to act according to his good purpose. And then finally, in step 3, we made a willing and willingly turned our lives over to the care of God. And boy, I tell you what, I'd already done that, okay, as a youngster, but I fell away, and then I got further and further away where it was that, just like that song, 5-card poker on Saturday night, church on Sunday morning. I know people have heard me say that before, but it's the truth. And you don't even realize, really, really how lost you are and how set apart you are. And something has to slap you in the face. Your friends have to tell you, if they will, your brother, your sister, family, whatever it is. But once you've done that, you make that decision to turn your life over to the care of God. I mean, it's going to get better. Trust me, it ain't going to get worse. I ain't going to say everything's perfect yet, but it's not going to be worse. John and Charmaine, we're going to go.
Sorry about that.
What's that?
All right, sounds good. Thank you. My phone fell off for a little bit, but I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're glad to have you back, John. And but now we're gonna go on break that you're back. Okay. You can't handle it all. No, I'm just playing.
Sounds good.
Station break, Military Broadcast Radio. We're gonna hear from one of our sponsors, LTD, and with their new promo. And I'm hoping this works all right. We'll listen to another little song from one of our partners or affiliates, and then we're gonna finally come right back on here. We're going to maybe hear a last word from John, but hopefully a lot from Charmaine in that remaining time. And I know she can get it out or get her message out to us and what she would like to say. So here, we'll see you in just a few minutes.
Introducing LT Defense Tactical Gear, your ultimate solution for top-notch protection and performance in the field. Our armor bundles provide unmatched safety and comfort, while our battle belts and holsters ensure quick and easy access to your gear. Stay prepared for any situation with our high-quality medical supplies, designed to keep you ready for action at all times. Looking to enhance your skill?
Welcome to the place where we mix testimony and truth, old and youth, and the only podcast that offers salvation right here, right now, just as you are. I'm Charmaine, and you are tuned in to In His Rest podcast.
Too big, wanting to grow up way too quick, searching for spotlights since I was 6. Hello, my name is Dream Too Big. Hello, my name is way too loud. My voice can cut right through the crowd. God make fun of for it, but who's laughing now? Hello, my name is way too loud. I know I've had my moments and I've had heartaches, but God is making miracles out of my mistakes. You can say I won't make it, and I can tell you that I don't really care. 'Cause hello, my name is going somewhere. Far. Lost all my words in a mason jar. Locked eyes with a stranger at the end of the bar. Hello, my name is You'll Go Far. Well, hello, my name is one more try. I put too much stock in bad advice. You're never gonna leave the ground. You can tell us all about it when you come back around. Hello, my name is Get Knocked Down. Hello, my name is Stand Back Up. Keep moving even when it gets rough. I've given so much, but I ain't giving up. Hello, my name is Stand Back Up. I know I've had my moments and I've had heartaches, but God is making miracles out of my mistakes. You can say I won't make it, and I can tell you that I don't really care. 'Cause hello, my name is going somewhere. Going somewhere. Yeah, Oh, it's going somewhere.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, we're back on the show with you here, Freedom from Struggle on Military Broadcast Radio. Lauren Rose Thayer is going somewhere. We're fixing to talk about where John is going now that his life has come back into control. Where's life taking you now, John? Just about 4 or 5 minutes, if you don't mind. And then we'll carry on, get over to Charmaine.
Absolutely. So, a lot of my outward success kind of like masked my internal illness. And, I might have became socially sophisticated, but brother, I was spiritually dead. Okay. And I really did have an awakening. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. I was baptized September 24th, 1997. And, it's like, how do you go from being a born again believer to becoming an alcoholic? And I drifted away from church, period. I drifted away, and I started chasing, we all want to, provide for our families. We all want nice things. And in that process, I forgot who I was in Jesus. You know what I mean? And God humbled me through, prison and having to go through all the stuff that I went through. But going forward, I'm working on becoming an addictions counselor / recovery coach. I want to share my story with everybody that I possibly can, because I don't want anyone to have to go through what I've gone through. And not only what I've gone through, what my ex has had to go through because of this, what our daughters have had to go through because of this. It is addiction and alcoholism. It doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone you love and care about. And that's pretty much where I'm at in life, and that's where I'm at moving forward. I don't care about any of the old stuff I used to have. I just want to move forward. And is it Miss Charmaine? Is that how you pronounce it? How do you?
Charmaine, yes.
Okay, so Charmaine. I was living in Jacksonville when it happened. So I did 2.5 years in Duval County Jail. So I don't know if you're too familiar with Duval County. Okay.
So I've only been here for about 4 years. I was stationed at Mayport. So we just decided to stay.
I know where Mayport is. Absolutely. Yeah. I know exactly where Mayport is. And a shameless plug, if you don't mind, but I have a dear friend. His name is Matthew Lafrano, and he is running for judge there in Duval County, Matthew Lafrano, and he is veteran friendly. He is super veteran friendly. So he is definitely a judge that we want on the bench there in Duval County. Check him out if you don't mind.
Really? Almost that time to vote.
So.
All right. Here comes the judge. Well, look, the judge, we got to invite. I'll just have to go ahead and invite the judge right now to come on with us, since we threw a little something in for him, maybe he'll join us, and who knows, maybe even I got a little thing going there at the bottom, the bva.org Veterans Association. But
hey, listen, my phone is dying. It's about to die right now. My phone is dying. It's about to cut off. I just want to thank you for letting me use your platform to get my story out. But my phone is about to die.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you.
Okay.
Well,
thank you, John, for sharing your story.
Look, we love you're here.
Hey, thank you so much.
You got a friend in us, brother and sister right here.
Absolutely. Keep going. John. Keep going.
Good
We're praying for you.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Take care.
All right, John. Bye-bye. Okay, Charmaine, it's you and I here. Freedom from Struggle at Red's Round Table, if you will. And I'm really thankful that you're here. Well, I guess you know who to vote for.
Yeah, for a judge. Yes, it's almost about that time.
But, I'm trying to. I actually had had something I wanted to share on here, but I tell you what. Look, why don't you? I ran your little 29-second ad thing.
Intro.
I guess it might actually be your opener to your show. I'm not positive, but it did show the time Monday nights, and that was 7 p.m. Is that Central or Eastern?
So it's actually going to be Sunday at 3 p.m.
Sunday at 3, just like we were Saturday at 3. One day later, Saturday, Sunday.
That's right. Sunday.
We got your weekends covered, people. We got your weekends covered.
Yes, we do.
All right. We do. Hey, right. All I can say is right on, Well, look, why don't you go ahead and share some stuff with us? Whether you're sharing about your show or sharing about something that you've overcome, just feel free. You got the times right now. I'll stop us for one more commercial break, and then we'll come right back to you. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Talk to us, Charmaine.
Yeah. So again, thank you for allowing me to use my voice on your platform. I definitely appreciate it. And thank you, MBR, for allowing veterans to use their voice on these platforms. Lord knows we have tons of things to say. So I've been through my own type of struggle. My struggle was actually one of my biggest struggles that I felt really changed the course of my life was the military. I joined the military late. I didn't join when I was 18. I joined going in as 34.
Wow. Okay.
And yes. And so you can imagine, the struggle there with being around so many young adults that haven't quite gotten life figured out. They're just starting. And so the struggle wasn't necessarily, it didn't really start there because they really looked up to me. I was very much a mentor. Also got us I got us out of a lot of different trouble.
All right. Good on you.
Well, I was like, I can't be getting beat all the time. Like, we can't be doing these all the time. So I definitely did enjoy my time in boot camp, but that is where my struggle started. And so I dealt with a lot of ostracizing due to my age. I dealt with a lot of verbal attacks, and I also dealt with some sexual assault there as well. And that lasted all the way from boot camp, all the way up into my first duty station here in Mayport. And it was definitely a struggle. It was almost as if I was hanging on by a thread, to be honest with you.
Right.
So when I finally got out, I did have to rededicate my life because I felt the whole time that I was in the military, there was there was almost like a line. And I had one foot over here and one foot over here. And in order to survive, that is the way that I had, if that makes sense, that's the way that I had to finish out my my duty.
Right.
And it was definitely a struggle. And without going really deep into it, I'm definitely happy to be out. Again, like I said, I rededicated my life back to God, because I was around a lot of people that didn't really believe in God.
Yeah.
And it was really hard after going through so much. I wasn't strong. I wasn't strong enough. And so I had to, like I said, in order to survive, I basically had to just kind of give in to the environment that I was in and go with the flow until I could get out of that environment.
Right.
And I did have my bout with, I wouldn't say it was an addiction. I dealt with a lot of depression and anxiety. And I did have, I guess, some struggle with alcohol. But I knew that because I had a background of family being alcoholics, I knew that if I was to really dive into that, really make that my thing, my coping, then I wouldn't know how to get myself out of it.
Right.
And so, I finally said, okay, this is not the way. This is definitely not the way. I can't do this. I tried other things. I tried like those gummies, like the cannabis gummies.
Right.
I tried those. It was at that point, it was really anything that can get me from outside of myself. Anything that could kind of bring my spirit back up. Because I was low. I was at a very, very low place. And so I was trying whatever I could in order to get out from under where I was. And so my podcast is called In His Rest Podcast, because as I rededicated my life back to God, and I became extremely serious about this relationship. It's about finding rest, finding rest, finding, like you say, that freedom from struggle. We can find that freedom and that rest in God, if it comes with a price. It's surrendering to Him.
Exactly.
It's surrender. And surrender is not easy. It's all about trust. And, I'm learning to do that. I'm learning to trust God with everything that I have. The other day I told him, I said, you know what? You can have everything. I'm tired. I just can't. Just take it, take it and do whatever you want. I don't even care anymore,
Right.
And, but when we find that rest, when we're able to really, really believe that He has our best interest, right? When we really believe that the plans that He has for us is to prosper us and to give us peace and have peace and have a future. If you really believe that, you wouldn't mind giving your life over to God. It's something that you have to trust. You have to trust that.
Yes, you got to trust, and it takes a lot of faith. Hey, Charmaine, one time, real quick, like we got to go back and have a word from our sponsors, from our recognized MBR. So let's do that real quick, okay?
All right.
This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Make it clear that the views expressed by our host are not considered the official stance of MBR views. Remember, this is all about having fun and enjoying the ride.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Freedom from Struggle. We still got Charmaine. We're talking about someone we've trusted our lives with and have faith that he's going to see us through. And I loved on that little commercial right there. I hadn't really heard it before, but it was saying that who could be watching? Okay, Al-Qaeda could be watching. ISIS could be watching. Man, let them watch. Hey,
yeah,
and let them step into that first step. You know what I mean? And really, they can come out of denial and turn their life to Christ, just turn their will and care over to God. And, hey, look, we all breathe the same air, and the same solution is there for all of us. And Charmaine, look, Military Broadcast Radio, it's being good to me. I know it's being good to you, right?
Absolutely.
It's given us a voice. I told John earlier before the show, this is therapy for me. I mean, it really is, because I didn't even have to leave my house for a meeting or anything, or to go join another group. And I've invited you. You've come around the round table. John came around the round table. We got a number of listeners that might be out there right now, viewing the program or just listening, whether it be radio or broadcast. But listen, it's just a wonderful thing, giving veterans a voice. I know down on the bottom you see it says, thank you for being with us today. We really do appreciate it. Please consider being a sponsor for the show here. Text my number or my email, red@mbr.us. I'll give you more information. You can visit Military Broadcast Radio if you prefer just to maybe be a sponsor for the whole station. There's different options you can choose, but I can run you through all of that. If you contact me, I'll be glad to do it. Charmaine, we got about 3 or 4 more minutes. What can you share? And I like was that mother's-in-law tune you have behind you?
Yes.
Yeah, mother's
my baby. I got these all over the house.
The name of it. That's not the scientific name, by the way. But go ahead, Charmaine, share with us, please.
Yeah. I mean, I was just basically saying that, I think it's important for all of us. Like I really appreciate John coming on to your platform and sharing his story, because there's such power in testimony. There's such power in knowing that someone is going through or may have gone through the same thing that you could possibly be going through at that current time or have went through, or you don't even see what's coming. You could be falling into it now, right?
Exactly. Yes,
and so testimony is just so important. It's important for us to really share, because we're it's all about community. God wants us to pray for each other. He wants us to live according to his will, and one of his wills is for us to share the gospel, and that includes sharing your testimony.
Exactly.
Because you never know who needs to hear that, who can grow from that.
Right.
So I appreciate hearing his story, and I wish him so much luck.
Me too.
Yeah.
And that's another thing right there. We're supposed to love one another, be kind to one another. And there's a lot of things in the Bible that tells us how we ought to be, how we ought to live our lives. And you can see examples of people that are gone wrong. Further right here, you've seen where things have gone wrong in my life. Things have not gone super in your life. Definitely not John's. He's got an incredible story. Yes. I wish everybody could have heard more. I've talked to him in length. I still want to hear more, and I'm hoping that we'll be friends, and we'll be online together, on the phone together, whatever it might take. I'm always available. reach out to me, Red, at mbr.us. Anytime you just want to get together and talk about something, maybe you want to be on the show. My sister Charmaine, I'm thankful you jumped on today. I think it's just that's another blessing for me. You know, it's blessing to see somebody else. You know how you mentioned you were with some military people at once at one time, and a lot of them, you know, they weren't faithful, they weren't believers, and you know that I fell into that same predicament. But me, you know, I mean, it seemed like I would notice a little more, but especially everything that I've been involved in and seen and all this through my life. But I was like 34, 35 years old when I first, no, it might have been a little older than that, but I first realized it was 40. It was around 40 that realized that there was somebody that people did not believe in God. And it was like 5 or 6 of us around at work. And, you know, one guy was struggling and they were just like, man, why don't you just get out of here, put it into it, you know? And I'm like,
wow.
Kind of hurt hearing that, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then after they walked out, the other guy was sitting there by. He said, "You're Christian, aren't you?" I said, "I am." He said, "Me too." And so 2 of us, that was like, you know, 10%, 15% of the room was Christian, and I just couldn't believe they said. I'll tell you what, it affected me mentally, and you know, I've got tears in my eyes right now thinking back on that time, and. But I mean, that's just the way it is. That's why it's even more important for us not to be, you know, living or being a bad witness.
Yes,
you know,
that is true.
And there's so many ways we have to really be careful to be a good witness. We all fall short of the glory of God. I know that. Amen. We're sinners. None of us are perfect, but by golly, we can strive to be more like Christ. You know,
that's right.
And look, I want to thank again everybody that's been in the audience. Charmaine, I thank you for being here. Now, one more time about your show. You said it's going to be on Sundays at 3:00, not Monday nights at 7.
Correct.
Is that start tomorrow, or is that next week?
It's next Sunday. So I'll be live streaming next Sunday. I'm actually going to have a guest. It's my brother, and he is a minister, and we're going to be discussing. Right here. We're going to be discussing his book.
Just playing with you. I got you. So your brother's going to be with you next Sunday, 3:00 on your show.
3:00 on my show, and you know, the show is basically about sharing your testimony, your triumphs, your trials, everything in between, and still just running the race because that's right. You know, we're just keep going. You just keep on going.
Charmaine, that's all we can do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, look, I don't know how long we can really carry on. I think me and you could talk for a little while, sharing our faith, sharing our own testimonies. I know that it's around 3:58 right now, Central Time. So the scheduled show is going to be closing. I'm going to be playing the outro right here. Remember, Military Broadcast Radio, giving veterans a voice. Okay, everybody? You got sponsors, LTD Defense. You've got me, you know, with Freedom from Struggle. And I got another podcast I'd like to make a throw in on. We do travel podcast on Mondays. Generally, I'm not sure we're going to be on air this week, but the following Monday, the second Monday in July, we are guaranteed to be on the air. Hopefully we will be day after tomorrow, but that's usually at 5:00 Central Time. And I hope I can see you there also. All right, let's go to our closing, and we thank everyone for being here. Y'all have a good day. Yes, sir, Mike.
That's the show for today, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with an all-new show. And remember, you can listen to us again and again. The podcast of this radio show is available right after we go off the air tonight, anywhere that you can get your podcast episodes. And thanks for joining us today. I'd like to take a moment to talk about something close to my heart. Military Broadcast Radio is doing incredible work to support our veterans and bring their voices to the world. They rely on your generous donations and your dedicated volunteer hours to make it happen. I encourage you to consider supporting NBR in any way, form that you can. use this QR code that's attached to the picture, or you can go to our website at mbradio.us. That's Mike Bravo Radio.us to learn more about how you can donate or volunteer even just an hour a week from your home. Help make a difference in the lives of our veterans, because once again, we're all here for you and not for us. We're giving our veterans a voice.